Welcome back to RXMuscle's Iron Road to the Arnold Classic 2020, brought to you by Chemical Warfare. I'm Dave Palumbo, and I'm back again in a very brief period of time. We didn't think we'd have him back till at the Arnold, I should say, but we got him back. Patrick Moore, you called me up, you texted me, you said, Dave, I want to come on the show, I want to respond to something that was said by Sergio Oliva Jr., and here you are.
Yeah, I got to set the record straight, man. I can't let it go unchecked. I got to put this to bed because these things have a tendency to run away, and then the narrative is skewed. Yeah. So I figured, let me go ahead and get on this real quick when it was brought to my attention.
Yeah. All right. The thing that was said on the show, and I'm going to play the clip in a second, is that Sergio basically, I was asking him about Patrick Moore and all the competitors he had to go up against, and he basically was, well, let's play the clip and then we'll analyze it.
Okay.
The only thing that I still have a problem with is, and you still do it, and everyone does it, and I get it. Look, bodybuilding got really boring for a little bit, and it did.
Yeah.
And we keep saying these things like, Patrick got top 10, Akeem got top 10. If you add the 4 people that were missing, they got the same place that I did at the Olympia, which is last. You're 15th, you're last. It's the same place. And I get it. Like I said, it's so boring. So if you did a show where you said, Bonak and Rami, back and forth, people aren't going to watch. And it is boring. But my God, can we please stop?
All right. So he basically insinuated that, a lot of people were saying, myself included, that I thought you should have been top 6. And Sergio's got you last place now. I mean, so I can see how that could irritate you a little bit.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like I said, I actually got wind of another video that was out, and it was a little more in depth to elaborate on what he said. So for me, I get it. This is bodybuilding. Guys have egos. They can get emotional at times. And then they start to rationalize their own career path and where it's headed and where it's been based on other guys. And we all know the saying, Dave, what another man eats. Well, I don't have to finish that. You know how that goes. Mm-hmm. So when I came into this thing, I had the mindset, okay, I want to be the best in the world. And I knew that, going at that was going to mean I can be buddy-buddy with everybody along the way, or I can be the best that I'm going to be, and then probably have a few enemies here and there. So it's whatever. I just didn't think that this guy was going to fall in that list, meaning, especially when he said I'm his best friend.
Yeah, don't you guys text each other all the time?
Yeah, we have phone conversations, we text and stuff like that. So I was surprised. I mean, I really was surprised because none of this had ever come across my ear. Yeah. Not even a snippet of it. Yeah. So, with the Olympia placing deal, if we're comparing Olympias, let's just say, because he said if so-and-so would have showed up and if this person was there and that person was there, like you said, or arguably in the lineup that I was in, I could have went a couple spots higher. Okay, but all that aside, let's just talk about how I actually looked at the Olympia. Yeah, I was conditioned. I looked how I needed to look. Me and Chris did a real good job. And Absolutely. So I looked good enough for 10th place in that particular lineup. Back to his Olympia debut, he wasn't on. He did not look good. He was not good enough for 10th place. And that's just facts are facts. It's not taking a shot at him, but we've seen the photos. I was there at the Olympia. And maybe it was his mentality going into the show because he had that, I'm just happy to be there. And he said that multiple times. Me going into Olympia, my mentality was, I want to show that I belong there, that I belong with the best of the best.
Right.
So when you train with that mentality, you're going to have a different outlook on your prep because you're not saying, yeah, Big Rami's doing it, William's doing it, so the best I could get is 4th or 5th, so I'm going to train for that.
Sure.
No, if these guys are in the show, that means, Patrick, you better get to work. These guys are veterans. They know what they're doing. They're experienced. And if you want to try to be in the fight, then you're going to have to step your efforts up, period. This doesn't mean I'm out of the mix because this is any given Saturday. Anything can happen. These guys show up off, and if I'm on, I can move up a couple slots. So back to him with his Olympia placing, I qualified for the Olympia by winning my show, the California Pro in 2019. He went to the Olympia on points. And then, I'm not sure of the exact placing of the Olympia in the 2018, but Michael Lockett beat him in Chicago, and then Michael Lockett beat him at the Olympia. So I beat Michael Lockett, and I got huge respect for Michael and all of those guys. But I placed ahead of him at the 2019 Olympia.
Right.
So the fact of the matter is saying that if this person was in and that person was out, that we all know that would change the entire lineup. Guys may have trained different. Some guys may have said, you know what, man, Phil's in it, Rami's in it. Damn, that automatically pushes me back. So I'm not even going to put my brain like to train for number 1, 2, or 3 spots. So you can do that narrative all day. But the fact that you went on to say that I would be in the same place you would have, you're absolutely wrong, because you did not look better than me at your Olympia debut. It was underwhelming. And I'm sorry that was your experience at your first one.
Right.
But mine was exactly what we wanted it to be. We went in with the expectations of not to win the show. It was to beat what I did in California in such a short amount of time. Now, when we fast forward to this Arnold Classic, that's no different. My goal is not to go in and think, oh, I'm going to win automatically and that's it. My goal is to beat what I just did at the Olympia, because I'm a numbers guy, Dave. I like numbers, and I like a little bit of history. So here's some. Sergio started bodybuilding in what, 2008, 2009? Something like that. I think 2009 I saw online. Me, 2014. He, his dad was a bodybuilder, so he does have some history of being around the sport. I don't. My father was in the military. So me coming from boxing and doing completely different other sport and making the strides that I had, I turned pro without a coach. I had assistants in dieting, but that was it. He had Chris Aceto, who was an amazing coach, who now I work with, obviously, everyone knows. And I've had some success then, but in half the amount of time. So Sergio's been doing this 11, 12 years, and I've been here 5, 6. So you don't get to compare those two things and say what would have been when we can only go on what is. Sure. And the fact is that I placed where I placed because of how I looked. It doesn't matter the lineup, because if the lineup was any different, what if I would have trained even harder and then could have moved up, like I said, another couple of slots? So that's a very, very blurred area. It's gray area that he would go on to say that. And it's disappointing to me, because you, in one breath, I'm your best friend, and then in the next, you pretty much downplay what has been thus far my biggest accomplishment in my career.
Well, I think he wanted to put you. I think he wanted to put you guys on an even playing field in his mind, so that he didn't. I think that's just how a lot of bodybuilders maybe rationalize. Now, let me ask you this question. I mean, you seem very confident going into the Arnold. I've seen pictures of both of you, and I'm not going to give my opinion on who I think is better. It doesn't matter. It's who's better on stage. But will you beat Sergio Oliva at the Arnold Classic next week?
My goal is to beat everyone at the Arnold Classic next week.
I'm only asking about Sergio.
Yeah, I will. And that's the thing is, if I beat him and he beats me, and if we're friends or whatever, hey, man, we grab a bite to eat, and we go at it again next time. Sure. So for him to say, he went on also to say that he didn't want me to get my hopes up. Well, I'm a grown man, so I'm not a teenager that's hoping for something and I'm unrealistic in my expectations. That's why I said my goal is to beat what I just did. So this way, when I accomplish that, I've accomplished my goal. Now, if that look beats everybody else, hey, that's the ultimate goal, and that's what we want. But for him, a win or lose or placement may be end all be all. But like I said, he can't put us on the same field mentally, because we are not the same mentally. You will never hear me say, I can never beat such and such. I can never beat such and such. No, anyone is beatable. You can, that's how this sport works. Sure. So you go in it 100%, you train hard, and you get placed on stage in front of judges, and they place you where they feel you placed on that day. That's it. And so for him to go on and do that, I just thought it was really funny. It really made me laugh because I was like, wow, man, that's crazy. I never would ever attack another man's accomplishments. Matter of fact, if the roles were reversed, I would have said, man, good on you, Sergio, dude. You got in there. In the Olympia lineup wasn't as tough as it was. And, man, you got in there. You placed 10th. You got a check. Now you have some notoriety. People are looking for you. Because for me, it launched my career. Sure. Now people didn't know who I was prior to the Olympia. Yeah. So now that they did, they've seen me, and people are saying it's hype, it's hype, it's hype. Dave, for me, I feel like hype is something when you have expectations of someone who hasn't delivered. Right. I came out of nowhere and I looked a certain way, and so I don't really consider that hype. Now, maybe there's some hype that people want to see me improve because of the potential, I can agree with that. But as far as saying, I'm not going to live up to it, which is kind of what he makes it seem like. There's all this hype that I could possibly never.
Sure.
No, I've proven that I can improve every show, and that's all I have to keep doing, because as I slowly climb over athletes and I move up, eventually that brings me to the top spot. So I'm realistic in my expectations. I'm not going to cry on stage and it's crazy because he's not the first athlete I've had this interaction with. When I was beaten in 2018, and I came back and beat this one particular athlete, he went on several forums and was complaining and saying, he was screwed over, he was messed over. And I'm like, guys, is it that deep for you guys? Because I'm having the time of my life doing what I love. But it's literally, it's like it's killing you guys. And you have to attack someone else, like you said, to level the playing field. You don't have to do that. Just train hard, be your best. And then if you beat someone, appreciate those accolades, and then just keep improving. That's all you have to do.
Yeah. Well, I'm really excited to see you guys. I hope Steve Weinberg is watching this, and I hope he says, you know what, I'm going to put these guys in a call out by themselves. Sergio, Patrick.
Yeah, and because we've had this conversation, Dave, me and you, man. Put me against. I want to stand next to the best. I have to see that so I can compare. Yeah. And so I would never be fearful. I'm relentless and I'm fearless at this thing that I'm doing.
Right. Well, you want to stand next to Ramy and Bonac.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, I'd like to see a call out between you and Sergio, just for the grudge match call out.
Yeah, put me in the mix, man. Because if I step up there, I'm gonna say, now let's get it on. Because there's no talking. We're here. Let's do it. And then when it's over, like I said, it's just funny, man. And I definitely, when I saw it, I said, I gotta call my man Dave, and I need to put this to sleep, because this guy's out here with a skewed narrative, and he's telling everybody I didn't deserve what I got, and I mean, oh God, Lee, dude, it's not that serious. Just bring it on stage.
I'll say one thing without showing any pictures. I saw a picture yesterday that Chris sent me of you, and you looked ridiculous. So you're ready. Yeah. That's for sure. You could compete tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we got to the spot we needed to, and Chris was like, okay. And he's always telling me, because I get close, and then I'm like, I want to be a little better. I want to be a little tighter.
You're ready.
And he was like, no, he said, just calm down. He said, this is not panic mode. You're good. Yeah. And so he sent me a meal plan today that was, had some extra stuff in it. Yeah. Because, I'm sure he's trying to keep me right there.
Yeah, no, you don't need to go lower, man. You're great.
No, it's going to be good, Dave. I'm excited, man. And like I said, for me, I go in it with appreciation. I already know I beat what I did at the Olympia. So that's hands down.
Absolutely.
And so now I just have to go out here and hope the crowd appreciates it, and I'm able to give them a good show and give the people their money's worth, and then I'm on to the next,
Well, I appreciate you coming on. I know you're psyched to get on stage, and I'm sure Sergio will have a few words to respond to this interview, but hey, that's what it's all about. Keep it fun and everything like that. Good luck. I'll see you out next week when I get out there. Are you getting out there early with Chris, right?
Yeah, I'm going to get out there Tuesday morning. So I'm going to get there and get settled in, and that way I can take everything in. And I like to really settle in and enjoy this experience. It's my first one. Yeah. I mean, I feel like I made some big strides pretty early in my career. Yeah. And I couldn't be happier, man. I couldn't be happier. Enjoy the trip out there. I'll see you on Thursday. Yes, sir. All right, guys. And that's going to take us to the end of another episode of RXMuscle's Iron Road to the Arnold Classic 2020, brought to you by Chemical Warfare. I'm Dave Palumbo. We'll see you next time.